whatever. So the third video going up today, going over Datacron set 9, which is going to be coming with Conquest on Monday, most likely, because, you know, Monday's when our Conquest normally starts anyways. So stat-wise, we have max health and max protection, so, you know, lovely. Offense and defense, great, because that's what we really needed, was more, you know, defense. We lose armor, and then we get back down defense. Crit damage and health steal. So both sets will have health steal, crit damage, and this one will have defense instead of protection and armor and all the other fun stuff. So nice little spread, I guess. I mean, time will tell on how much you'll need for each one kind of thing. Defense you'll want for a lot of teams just because it's defense and makes them harder to kill. Alright, so alignments are dark side and light side. Identical stats, you know, not stats, but identical ones. Honestly, they're both probably the one you want the most is like whenever an ally evades an attack, you gain offense up per turn maybe. Or if you have any teams that do stun and daze, that one will be great with the protection, recovery, and health. Protection and health recovery at 10%. Or this one, at the start of the encounter, allies, I don't know what the 0 means, but I think it's just placeholder for whatever. Allies gain 15% max health and protection for each other blank ally. I don't know what that is. We won't really know until we get access to the Datacron. The factions are Sith, Old Republic, and Night Sister. They are, I think, all the same. Let's see. No, they're actually different. That is surprising. Like, there's a difference whenever an enemy is defeated by a Sith ally, that ally can't be revived. Whenever an Old Republic ally defeats an enemy, they refresh the cooldowns of all Old Republic allies. Oh, we know there's one right here. Whenever Old Republic enemies are defeated by, not enemies, but whenever, you know. Okay, so they're not all the same. Interesting. I'm not going to go too in-depth in these. They're all pretty decent. The ability block is nice for a Sith, as well as the stacking offense for 2 turns whenever they critically hit an enemy during their turn. That's pretty great. Inflicting doubt on an enemy for a turn might be something you could do with like Darth Malgus, or really any Sith, because it's not Sith Empire, it's just Sith as a whole. Old Republic ones, their stuff is mainly dots. I think every single faction, including Night Sister, have the Retribution for 3 turns. They also have the ability block one. So, anyways, the best ones from what I can glean at a glance would be Bastila Shan's is one you definitely want, because it's basically her leadership without having her in the leader slot. So, you know, you're gaining 15% turn meter and 200% protection up to start the battle. And, you know, Old Republic tank allies are taunting for a turn. It's great. I mean, you're going to be pushing her up. If you're going for Leviathan, you'll be pushing her to Relic 7 anyway, so get it along the way. If you have Canderous from Relic 7 from the last time he had Datacron, go for his, because you can run him in an Old Republic team. He's recovering 10% health and protection whenever a dot expires, and then that person also regains a dot. Zalbar looks interesting if you... I don't know if you'd really run his over Canderous's, because Zalbar, he gains 20% defense for each Old Republic ally, and also he regains 20% health and protection whenever an Old Republic ally uses a special ability. So, I mean, it's not horrible. Kind of eh. I feel like Canderous's would be the best for the Old Republic as a whole, especially if you run them under Karth. But, let's see. Missions isn't horrible. I mean, 25% TM whenever she uses a basic is going to be pretty often, because she'll be assisting Zalbar out the wazoo. She'll probably assist Karth sometimes as well. So maybe if you have mission close to Relic 7, go for her, but that's your call. Let's see. Marin's is pretty good from the looks of it. Whenever an ally is defeated or revived, she's getting 20% offense maxed out at 200%. And she also inflicts 2 stacks of plague on all enemies for 3 turns. So, if you have Marin, you might want to get that one. Asajj's is also pretty good. She gains 50 base speed whenever she defeats an enemy. She dispels all debuffs on Night Sister allies, gains 20% offense, stacking at 100. And she refreshes the cooldowns of random Night Sister allies. So if Marin gets the refreshes reset on hers, that's cool. If Daka gets it, or not Daka, Talzin, that'd be even cooler. Night Sister Zombies is pretty okay. Removing 50% TM from all enemies whenever you lose taunt on it is pretty good. I don't know if you do that over Marin's or even Asage's. Talzin's isn't bad. She recovers 20% of her max health and protection limit once per turn whenever she inflicts a debuff. And whenever Daka stuns an enemy, she's getting 10% crit damage, maxing at 200, and 5 speed, maxing at 50 until the end of the encounter. So the Night Sister ones are pretty good. Obviously you need to have them at Relic 7 to get the bang out of your buck for them. But I feel like out of the Night Sisters, you'd want to go for Marin or Asajj. But for the Sith, I left them till last because theirs are all over the place. The best one, I feel like, it would probably be Savage's, because whenever he deals damage to an enemy, he is removing 25% turn meter from that enemy. It used to be Maul's, but then because he's not an actual Sith, they had to switch to Darth Maul, which was supposed to be in the first place. His is okay. He's revived 100% health, and he gains health over time, and takes a bonus turn. But he's not really good in the sense of it. Talon's is okay, I guess, if you feel the need to push her to Relic 7 at the moment. Having her cooldowns reset by 1 on her specials is pretty nice. Sith Assassins I'd probably avoid just because, you know, whenever you stun an enemy, they take a bonus turn, so niche but beneficial. Sets looks really good on paper. I don't know how good it'll be in practice, I guess, or like in real time kind of thing, because he gains whenever he has defense up, he has 100% offense and 30% defense pin, which is nice. Whenever that expires, he's gaining 10% tenacity, maxing at 100% until the encounter. So kind of niche, kind of, I don't know, it's more your call if you want to use that, I guess. Sith Troopers isn't bad either. Whenever he crit hits someone, he goes into stealth, but then whenever he loses it, he gains 30% defense pin and 50% offense for a turn. So if he loses stealth and then he has his AoE available, that's a nice chunk of damage there with the 50% offense on top of it. So yeah, I feel like the ones you really should probably go for is like in conjunction with Leviathan, which, you know, like I said, the third video today, I got half of what I said in the video on Sunday right, somewhat, but anyways, Bastila you might want to go for. Canderous, if you have him Relic 7, it won't hurt. Savage, I'd highly suggest his. Set, if you're going for Leviathan, you might as well go ahead and grab his along the way, just because it'll be useful, and you won't be running Set with the Savage team anyway, so they'll give you another level 9 Datacron to work with. Sith Troopers, I mean, his won't be bad. I don't know if it'll really mess with his kind of thing in the SLKR lineup, but the stats overall would help the SLKR lineup anyway, so it might be beneficial if you have him. And if you're going for Leviathan, you'll have him Relic 7 anyways, so it won't hurt. Night Sisters, like I said, Marin or Asajj, those would be the top 2 picks. Zombies isn't bad, it's just regaining taunt. It's not going to be like a constant like 50% TM removal. But yeah. Zalbars also could be useful, but if you're going to be running a Canderous one, I'd highly suggest his over Zalbars. But, yeah, I mean, it's not a horrible set. It looks okay on paper. The Night Sister one looks interesting. Whenever a Night Sister ally is defeated or revived, they inflict 2 stacks of Plague on all enemies. Oh, recovering protection and reducing their cooldowns by 1. Wow, that's busted. That's going to be a busted one for the Night Sisters. They gain TM, they regain protection, and they're reducing their cooldowns by 1. I mean, the 60% chance to dispel debuff one is interesting for all of them. Would I really go for it? Probably not. Like the Sith one, for whenever you're granting a buff to another ally, that ally gains 10% TM. That seems kind of because there's not a lot. I mean, you do gain buffs as with Sith, but you're not like granting them kind of thing, unless I'm completely misconstruing that. But yeah, I mean, and then the Old Republic doesn't have the ability block one, but they do have whenever the Old Republic allies are revived, they gain prod up for 2 turns and 25%, gain 25% team. Oh, there's also like the nicest one. Interesting. So why how are you gonna revive them? Because there's... Oh, you can run this with Jedi Revan. Interesting. You run with Jedi Revan, Bastila, and Jolie. Interesting. That's actually... That'd be a pretty decent one, honestly, to run with them. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents on this new Datacron set. Overall, not bad. The level 3 rolls are kind of hit or miss. Honestly, the gaining max health protection for each ally is probably the best one for each one. The evasion isn't horrible either, because you gain accuracy up and inflict evasion down on 2 turns, which can't be evaded, so that's pretty nice. Also, if you have a very stun or daze heavy team on either the dark side or light side, you might want to grab this because you're going to be recovering 10% health and protection. But yeah. But yeah, that's really it for that one. It's an okay Datacron set. Nothing too busted from the looks of it, but time will tell. If y'all enjoyed this rather short video, don't forget to hit like and hit subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you all probably Thursday with the start of the final week of 5v5. I hope y'all have a good day.